courtesy of Cleveland radio producer Keith Britton. Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield on whether Lincoln Riley is ready for the NFL. His response: Lincoln's been ready. The respect level he's had from all of his players, he's ready. But that's his decision. Says he's got a great thing going on at Oklahoma. There are some big games for some AFC squads this week. Let's start with the Colts and Texans. Indy hopes to rebound after getting shut out by the Jags. Houston looking at 10 straight wins. They've already won 9 in a row. Also in that 1 o'clock wave of games, Ravens-Chiefs should be a good one. Kansas City, the top scoring offense in the league, while Baltimore boasts the top scoring defense. Expect some points. The Broncos head to San Fran to take on the 49ers. Denver's won 3 straight behind the play of undrafted rookie Phillip Lindsay, who is averaging an NFL best 6.1 yards per rush. And the Patriots head to South Beach, their annual December trip. A win would clinch its 10th straight division title for the Patriots. Miami, though, has been a little bit of a house of horrors for Tom Brady, who stands just 7-9 on the road against the Dolphins. It's his most road losses against any team in the league, and just one of 3 teams he has a losing road record against. Among those he's faced multiple times. Brady's 1-2 on the road against both the Chiefs and the Panthers. For more on this matchup, we will say hello to Mike Reese, who's already got on earmuffs. We'll leave that alone, Mike. You will not need those in Miami. But we know that's been a bit of a challenge for the Patriots.
Yeah, Wendy, you know, I went with the ear warmers. I got the gloves. This is all for the weather effect. It's 32 degrees here. Patriots are practicing outside. It's going to be 80 on Sunday when they go to Miami. And this has actually been a big theme among players over the last 4 days. Almost immediately after they beat the Vikings on Sunday, you had Tom Brady and some of the veterans saying it's our annual trip to Miami in December, and we don't like the feeling we have coming back from that trip with a loss. So let's try to change it. Brady also making the point that they don't play the weather, that they play the Dolphins, and how will they possibly change it? Here's an interesting nugget to pass along today. Last year, in their Week 14 matchup, as they were preparing to go to Miami, Bill Belichick had the Patriots practicing inside. He turned up the heat, and players were talking about how they maybe prepared them for that. Well, they lost. Today, Belichick has them outside. And Wendy, here's the wisdom that Bill Belichick is offering when he was asked how they can acclimate to what they're going to down in Miami. He said, it is what it is. Whatever it is, we'll deal with. How about that?
You know what? How about that? Brilliance, I say. Absolute brilliance. And let me also point out that what Mike Reese was underscoring there is that he is very tough. That was because he was making the point. You know, the earmuffs and the gloves were not because he needed them, but he just went the extra mile, Coach.
They were props.
Yeah, they were props. So well done, Mike Reese. Listen, Teddy, why does Tom Brady struggle in Miami?
I don't want to say it is the weather in terms of when the Patriots go down there, but it can be, because there have been times where I was in captain's meetings talking to Coach Belichick with other guys, thinking about what do we do? Do we turn up the heat in the field house or in the bubble? Do we wear extra sweats to practice? Do we travel down to Miami 2 days early so we get acclimated to the heat a little bit better, and we still lose? So through all of that experience and all of that debate, that's where Bill Belichick gets to it finally, and he says, the guys, it doesn't matter. We'll actually practice outside because I don't believe it matters, and it matters how you play. The one tangible thing with that Miami Dolphin team with Tom Brady, it always seems like the edge rushers have success more than in Foxborough, down in South Beach, coming off the edge and getting pressure on Tom. So you're talking about Cameron Wake, Robert Quinn. When I played, it was Jason Taylor, those type of guys that came off the edge and always had success getting pressure on Tom. If they want success, that's what they have to stop.
Well, he doesn't like to be pressured. No quarterback does, but Tom Brady in particular at this point in his career doesn't need you in his face, Coach. So, you know, it is what is it? It is what it is. Whatever it is,
it'll be what happens.
We're certainly not traveling down there 2 days early to get acclimated to the weather.
Yeah, no, apparently not.
And again, Bill's right. I mean, you got to execute. And really what happens is it's a good matchup, and it's better when you're at home. I mean, they don't have crowd noise. They don't have that issue. You know, and I'll tell you this. that stadium's hard to play in regardless whether you're a division opponent or regardless if it's just Tom Brady, and the Patriots, because that's a hard stadium to win in regardless of who you are. I think my record's like 1-7 in that stadium.
It gets better the longer you're out. Don't worry, that record will
exactly.
improve.
It got better. People forget.
Wendy, there are a couple things that, certain players check certain things when the schedule comes out. And I always say they check when the bye comes out because they want to see when they'll get that break. There are two things the players check in New England. It's when the bye week is and what month do they go down there in Miami. Because in September and October when you go down there, there was a string of like 13 straight we had lost. And before he had one down there in 2003, it was brutal to go down there in September and October. December, it's a little bit better, but still, it's going to be a 50-degree change from the 30s,
that is not
to mid-80s.
Insignificant. Obviously no coach wants to play up the weather because you have to play in it, but that's not nothing. I mean, that's a pretty big change. We will move on now to the Chiefs, who face the Ravens this week. For that, we bring in ESPN Chiefs reporter Adam Teicher. And Adam, I'll ask you this. What can we expect from Spencer Ware and the Chiefs' run game now that they've had a full week to prepare?
Yeah, hello from Kansas City, Wendy. And it's easy to forget now, but Spencer Ware was once the Chiefs featured back in 2016. He led the Chiefs in rushing. Now, he lost his starting job to Kareem Hunt last year in the preseason when he tore up his knee. And the Chiefs weren't sure until training camp this year he would ever make it back. They had to see him making some cuts and absorbing some contact before they were sure he would make it back. Now, Ware acknowledged today that he felt a little bit rusty in his return to full-time duty last week against the Raiders when he rushed for 47 yards. He said that having a full week of practice preparation this week would help him out. The Chiefs will also tweak their running game to accommodate Ware's downhill running style. Otherwise, Ware said it's a lot like 2016. Nothing's changed, he told me. He said that my job is to make plays and to score touchdowns. Back to you, Wendy.
Adam, thank you. They'd like him to pick up where he left off. We continue with this from our Ravens reporter, Jamison Hensley. This is an update on Joe Flacco. He moved around better at Wednesday's practice, but likely will still be a limited participant. The expectation is that Lamar Jackson will make his fourth straight start Sunday at Kansas City against the aforementioned Chiefs. And he's done pretty well. He's made 3 starts. He's won all 3. He showed some big-time bursts, which we expected, according to Next Gen Stats. His 25 runs in the last 3 weeks where he hits at least 15 miles per hour are 10 more than any other player in the league. That speed has helped him rush for 265 yards in the last 3 games, the most in a quarterback's first 3 career starts in the Super Bowl era. Listen, there is really no disputing what he can do when he's running the football.
Yeah, it creates all kinds of problems for defenses because, for so many years, the defense really is playing with 11 guys against 10 because they don't count the quarterback. Well, trust me when I tell you, when you line up and play Lamar Jackson, you better count for the quarterback. I mean, he's really a tailback playing quarterback. And they've just run up the rushing charts since he's been the starter the last 3 weeks. They were like 19th, now they're up to 7th. And it even opens up the running backs, and you're getting, different types of runs. I mean, dive options. You're getting quarterback boots, quarterback sweeps.
What's the remedy here, though, Coach, if you're the Chiefs?
Well, it's committing more people to the run, and that does open up some of the play action things as far as the passing game, which you don't have to be a pinpoint passer now in that. You just kind of run around, and guys get space because they got all day to run to get open, and he's actually hit some of those guys on big plays.
And actually, the formula for beating the Kansas City Chiefs, you've seen different people have different styles in terms of trying to outscore them, keep up with them. If Lamar Jackson is the starting quarterback and Joe Flacco is down, I mean, this could be the perfect formula to beat the Kansas City Chiefs if you have a quarterback that, listen, he's going to run the football. We're going to do it over and over again. We're going to eat up the clock, and then we're going to trust our defense to give us a couple stops. It could be the right formula, but Lamar Jackson, in terms of the threat that he is, if he just hits a couple throws for this offense in this game, this can be a contest in terms of the way the Baltimore Ravens want to play Raven football, physical, aggressive, run the football, eat up the clock, then the defense comes on the field and does their job.
It's not a lot of mystery. You know what he's going to do, but good luck stopping it. I mean, that's the bottom line.
I'm looking forward to this matchup because, again, you're going strength and strength, too, now. Let's not forget about that Baltimore defense, number 1 in the league, matched up against number 3 offense in the league. So it should be entertaining.
Again, the expectation is that Jackson will make his 4th straight start. Another departure in Green Bay. We know about Mike McCarthy. Well, the Packers fired associate head coach Winston Moss yesterday, just hours after he tweeted about Aaron Rodgers and the Packers organization. Earlier on Tuesday, Moss tweeted what he thought. Here's what he said. What championship teams have are great leadership, period. It's not the offensive guru trend. It's not the safe trend. Find somebody that is going to hold number 12 and everybody in this building to a Lombardi standard, period, with the hashtag losing sucks.
Well, I can start on this one. I've known Winston Moss for a long time. He was a player, a really high-quality player when I was coaching with the Raiders. And one thing I'll say about Winston Moss is he understands the locker room, he understands the NFL football game, and he understands loyalty. And I know this, he's loyal to Mike McCarthy. And, again, he's speaking his mind, and that's going to be Winston Moss. I respect him for that.
There's a lot to interpret on that in that tweet in terms of why he would feel the need to get that out. I mean, there is some type of irritation to really just go out there and say, this is what's needed to win championships. You assume that it's known within the organization. For someone to say that, you got to get everybody on the same street. Let's just say that, because if you have a few others that are out there tweeting and complaining and have other beliefs, you got to clear it of the organization. You're starting to see, little cracks of what was going on in the Green Bay Packer organization in terms of, uncharacteristically getting rid of a McCarthy now, an assistant head coach here tweeting about how to win championships, them firing him. It seems like there's a couple streets in this organization, and then they got to join them all somehow, some way.
You're right, and that's exactly what interim head coach Joe Philbin said when he was asked about firing Moss. He said, as you might imagine, it's important everybody is on the same page, and he felt like that just wasn't the case in that situation. And so they made a decision that it was not a fit. Well, how are we doing? We've got, not so bad. We have tipped over past the halfway mark, 19 down, 13 to go, as we touch on all 32 teams. And this season, our analysts have gone head-to-head trying to predict Houston is at the top of the South. Pittsburgh holds a half-game lead in the North. The Chargers and Ravens hold the wild card spots. We've got 4 6-6 teams, though, in the hunt. Our NFL Nation on location on the AFC's 6-6 teams, starting in Miami with Cameron Wolf.
Yeah, Wendy, Miami has a puncher's chance for the playoffs thanks to their ball hawk defense led by Xavier Howard. The Dolphins will lean on their thievery. They rank in the top 3 in the NFL in interceptions and takeaways. Howard, the NFL's interception leader with 7, said, "I'm the best corner in the game. Watch my tape. Watch my stats." Bill Belichick is still shaking his head over Howard's 2 interceptions off Tom Brady last year. That confidence will add extra fuel for Patriots week. The Dolphins have won 4 of their last 5 games here in Miami against the Patriots. They may need to win out, but they're doing a little dancing. Come playoff time, it's going to be because of their playmakers on D. Now let's try our luck with Mike and Indy.
Thanks, Cam. The Colts have gone from feeling like they control their own destiny to likely needing to win out and get help from other teams in order to make the playoffs. The first step is to get the offense on track again after Andrew Luck was shut out for the first time in his NFL career against Jacksonville last week. The task won't be easy on Sunday because Houston is on a 9-game winning streak, they have a top 10 ranked defense, and they have won 4 of the last 6 meetings against the Colts. Receiver T.Y. Hilton put it bluntly, 10-6 gets you in the playoffs, 9-7 won't. We can't lose anymore. Now we go to Jeff Legwold in Denver.
Thanks, Mike. If the Broncos are going to stay in the postseason race, they have to remember who they are on offense. Over the last 2 seasons, they are 7-0 when they run the ball more than they throw it. They are 4-17 when they lean the other way on the passing game. Sure, everyone wants to throw the ball in the league these days, but the Broncos have been far more consistent when they lean on their running game. Defensively, they have to find a way to get along without cornerback Chris Harris Jr. He will miss the rest of the regular season with a fractured fibula. They hope to have him back if they can make the postseason. Now for a report on the Tennessee Titans, let's go to Teron Davenport.
Thanks, Jeff. At 6-6, the Titans are still in the playoff hunt. I talked to head coach Mike Vrabel, who says the key for them is to take things one game at a time and play complementary football. Defensively, they have to get off the field on 3rd downs. That will help improve the 31 points per game average over the last 3 weeks. On offense, Marcus Mariota in the passing game, they have to get better vertical throwing the football. That'll open things up underneath as well as for the running game. And now back to you, Wendy.
Gentlemen, thank you. We do have an additional update from our Broncos reporter, Jeff Legwold, who said this. Broncos wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders was helped to the locker rooms by trainers just before the end of the open period in today's practice. It does look like a lower leg injury. We'll continue to monitor and keep you updated.
So we're going to call this thing quarterly earnings.
For every victory a team has, they cost that much.
Here is my portfolio.
I like to spend your money, Coach.
I almost went all Patriots, 5 shares of the Patriots.
Diversification.
Give you one, boom. I'm going to give you another one for the Vikings, boom.
I got a different strategy here. Give me $1 for the Vikings.
Yep.
Give me $1 for the Detroit Lions. Give me $1 for the Texans. I'll take the Steelers, even though they are
take
a little bit of disarray. But they're only $1.
This may be my favorite segment we've ever done.
You guys better say that because I'm going to collect it here pretty soon.
Wait, hold on. You got to end it right now.
No, you gotta
Well, listen, the third quarter is over. Each team has 4 games left, another quarter of the season behind us. So quarterly earnings are back. And here's a reminder of the rules. Each analyst has money to invest in teams over the next 4 weeks. Teams are priced for $1 for every win. So obviously the Rams among the more expensive teams, 11 wins, $11. The Chiefs and Saints at 10, so on and so forth. All right, JoJo, again, started with $10. That was in Q1. We're now in Q3. Let's look at how your portfolio
I don't even know how it's
grown.
looking.
Here it is,
You
Wendy
started with
Sojo
10 and
singing the song.
JoJo's at 30.
So I'm going up.
Which
At
is the
least
right
I'm going up.
direction. Listen, you are trending in the right
Thank you.
direction.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What's next? And in particular, it looks like, what you got the Cowboys on there.
Yeah,
for
let's start with the
$7.
Cowboys because contrary to popular belief, Jason Garrett is not dead. He has 9 lives. He has got that team grooving. That defense is balling. And I wanted to say, I looked at the schedule. They got Philly at home. So if you're going to play Philly, I want you to do that home, okay? Tampa, I think they should get that. D-Law should take care of Andrew Luck. And the Giants without Landon Collins. So that's why I'm liking that. They're streaking. They're doing well. Then you just got to give it to the Rams. Rams are doing really well, even though I know you like to go with that $1 business, Teddy.
That's an expensive share.
But listen, they are worth it. I need the Rams to pull this home. I believe that you're going to want to have a good seeding, throughout the playoffs, that you'll continue to fight, unlike last year. And then the Patriots at 9-3. When you look at their schedule, they got Buffalo and the Jets at home. You definitely got Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. So that's a little bit harder. But if you're going to go to Miami, you do that in December. So I'm feeling that for the Patriots. And then I just had $3 left. I didn't have much of a choice. So I gave it to the Jets. Jamal Adams, I need you to galvanize that team for Todd Bowles and make me look good. All right.
That's just because, Sam Darnold's coming back. You never know. They might win a game or two down the stretch.
All right.
Coach, I'm impressed, my friend. Big jump here in Q3.
I got to 37.
There you go.
Went to 22.
All right, so you got money to
But I
spend.
couldn't catch you, though.
That's all right.
Let's talk about, like our kids. You talk about you.
Okay.
You talk about you.
Gotcha.
All right, what do we got? Oh, Denver in the mix this time at 6. This obviously makes some
Just
sense.
watching the news, I mean, we lose Chris Harris. All right, now we got Emmanuel Sanders being dragged in.
Yeah,
and
You want to redo this?
However, I'm already invested. I can't make excuses. All right?
Market's closed today, so
Mama Wendy told me I can't make excuses.
Okay.
All right? Anyways, all right, Denver Broncos. I love their schedule. They're at San Francisco. Then they've got the Browns, and they have the Raiders, and they finish off with the Chargers in Denver. So I like their chances moving forward. You got Philip Lindsay, who's running the socks off. I mean, they're running the ball. AFC Offensive Player of the Month.
Undrafted,
of the week.
by the way.
No doubt, local guy. They've hit it big on him. He's very explosive, and a big reason why I like them run the table and get into the playoffs and make some noise in that AFC West. You can't bet against the Patriots in December. I've learned that a long time ago. I'm staying with the Saints. I think Sean Payton rallies those guys after getting the 10-game winning streak broken. And then I think the Rams right now are the best in football. Big test in Soldier Field this weekend.
It is Sunday night under the lights. TV.
Okay, so here's what I started with $10.
Wow. Just couldn't wait to show your little 50 high point on the scale.
Diversification is key
I'm
here.
talking.
Okay. I give you some heat. There's some heat over here. Okay.
Well, I went to 50 because I started out early on with like a lot of $1 teams and $2
Yes, you
teams
did.
that I still feel like were in the mix and could still get those
That was
victories.
early, though. Obviously,
that was early.
you changed your strategy.
Now it's time to stop messing around and get with teams that can really get you there. And so here are my shares.
Oh.
So I'm taking 4 shares of the New England Patriots.
Wait a minute. I like it. You can't just do all. You got to divide it up. Four shares.
Four shares in the New England Patriots, a team that I think has a great shot of winning out at Pittsburgh. You're right, Joe. It's going to be tough, but the offense is clicking. I just love Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon gets going, and they got that extra dimension. Gronkowski, Edelman, and White, of course, but if Josh Gordon keeps producing, he could be a big difference maker. So give me 4 shares for a team that has a high possibility of going 4-0, and then also the New Orleans Saints I'm going with, who I think they have
really
a
going
possibility.
out on a limb here.
I'm just going Saints. I'm going
crazy.
Patriots, and then I had $4 left, and I'm going.
Is that the Bills?
That's the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
I just like how they're in games, and I love the way Sean McDermott keeps them fighting.
You know they play the Patriots.
Yes, that's one.
Yeah,
that's one.
well,
Yes,
that's
I think they got 3 of the last 4 at home. They got Jets, I think, Dolphins at home.
Good.
Jets, Dolphins, and Lions all at home.
He didn't go into half share for the Patriots to try to squeeze in another one.
Go see it. Where'd you spend your entire career playing? Whoa. Hold on. Hold on. They might call that insider trading.
They might. But I will say this. I don't know anybody who's watched this game over the last 10 years who doesn't know it's a smart bet to bet on New England in December.
This is about money now. It's about money now.
It's always about money. What do you mean it's about money now?
Who's the backup quarterback with the Patriots? You better hope your boy stays upright. Okay.
That's a different issue here.
Listen,
We're talking about the money.
What do you get if you win this thing? Because we got one more quarter, obviously. We'll do this at the end of the season. You get some prize? We get
You get the amount of money that we all have won.
Which is
that's a good idea.
Yes.
I like that.
And who's paying for that?
We'll have a budget. We'll check the budget.
So be ready
All
to pay
right,
up.
we shall see. 3 quarters down, 1 to go. And how about a helmet update? 21 down, 11 to go. We've been worse. As we make our way through all 32 teams. What's on deck? How about this? Mel Kiper Jr., Todd McShay. They'll take the best Heisman candidates when we come back.